Here we go, dealing with the crazy that we're going to get more and more and more as long as Caitlin Clark continues to be held back by Stephanie White, as long as Caitlin Clark continues to adhere to the Stephanie White system, which sans Caitlin Clark is still outdated, predictable, and terrible. She can't coach defense either, as we have seen, although she likes to blame her players and she keeps saying the same thing over and over and over again. At some point, when the coach keeps giving you the same excuses and nothing gets fixed, you have to start questioning the coach. It's really not complicated. So, anyway, I'm going to play this clip for you. Now, keep in mind, this is a clown who did some Philly sports media for us and was so bad, didn't last long, got himself fired because he's absolutely awful. I have no idea why he got rehired elsewhere, but he had some thoughts about Caitlin Clark that I thought were kind of interesting and want to talk about. And I'm curious what y'all think in the comments below. But to my point, y'all hear that motorcycle outside? Holy mother. No, actually, I think that was a car. Can we make that illegal? I'm just saying, man. I shouldn't have to hear that from inside. Anyway, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate all of your support. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Shout out to the 19. And I just realized somebody's going to be like, yeah, man, we didn't hear anything. Well, it sounds loud to me. I'm just saying, okay? So let's take a listen. This is only about 20 seconds long, okay? But I want you to hear this nonsense.
Because she's not the best player in the WNBA. She's not the best guard in the WNBA. She's not even the best guard from her college class, because that's Paige Beckers, who plays for Dallas, who beat them in the season opener. This could be a situation where we look back on Caitlin Clark, and we're not going to look back on her like she's Michael Jordan. She's Jeremy Lin. This is Jocelyn.
The insane stupidity. Obviously this dude is just a hater, has no idea what he's talking about. By the way, man, now I believe, yeah, you could say I'm going to give him a little bit because they entered college the same year, but Caitlin and Paige are not the same class, man. And if you're informed at all to have comments on this, if you're going to talk about the WNBA, you really ought to know things like that. I think that's an important thing to know. All right. I'm just saying that's important to know. Let's go ahead and deconstruct this for a little bit. Now, look, 2025 was an absolute wash. We all know that. By the way, for those wondering, Paige Becker's game 2, awful. Awful. Dallas as a whole, awful. They reverted to the norm. Couldn't hit a shot. Paige looked terrible. If Caitlin looked like Paige did in that second game for the Dallas Wings, that would be all you would hear about and see everywhere. Caitlin Clark's cooked. She's washed up. She's overrated. She got caught. She's not that good. She's been exposed. You all know the drill, right? So to say that also, bad timing for that example, and no knock on Paige. All great players have bad games. But let's not act like Paige is a perfect ball player. In fact, sometimes I think her obsession with efficiency hurts her and it hurts her team that she plays for, because she doesn't try ever. Paige Beckers is not a takeover a game player. Look, she had 20 points against the Indiana Fever, right? Hey man, you average 20 points a game for a season. That's you're one of the top scorers. That's a good thing. And she shot the lights out. But for long stretches of that game, I completely forgot Paige Beckers was even playing, right? Because she just kind of disappears into it. Never tries to take over a game. Oh, by the way, did everyone forget? Because I don't see anyone talking about it. The only reason we got to see Stephanie White do the wrong thing and use Caitlin Clark as a fullback so Kelsey Mitchell could launch a long 3 at the end of the game, the only reason we even got to see that is because with a 3-point lead and 1.8 seconds left, Paige Beckers had 2 free throws, a 90% free throw shooter, and she missed both of them. Why is no one talking about that? Everyone wants to talk about Caitlin missing like a 35-foot 3-point shot to tie the game, and barely missing, by the way. No one wants to talk about Paige Beckers missing 1 aces of the game. She has to make 1 of 2 from the free throw line, Miss Efficiency herself, and she misses both of them. This man didn't get that information. Oh, but again, so forget 2025, right? We go back to 2024. We all know the drill. 62 records or whatever is, 319 assists, single game assists record with 19, 10 assists in the All-Star game, player of the month multiple times, all this stuff, rookie of the year, fourth in MVP voting, all WNBA first team. And yet you're going to sit here and say she's Jeremy Lin, who had put out a very short-lived hot streak for, how was it, Houston, and then signed a huge contract for the Knicks and just sort of never really reached that level again. Because, by the way, every player who gets to that level in the NBA at some point was a big-time scorer, right? The difference, and that's why guys can come off the bench and have these monster games every once in a while, scoring 30, 40 points, because they have that capability. They just are not at the level where they can do it consistently, and that's what separates the stars from the players on the bench. To call Caitlin Clark Jeremy Lin, it's disgusting. Like it's low life. It's low life stuff. It's a guy yapping to yap, trying to get the right people to pat him on the back and say, "Good boy, good job, woof woof." Roll over. It's for attention, and I know I'm giving them some attention, but I think when people say stuff like that again, I'm saying sometimes you just got to push back, and I think this is one of the times where you got to push back because we're going to hear this more and more until something changes, and it's going to be Stephanie White maybe stepping back from her narcissism and be like, I better go all in on Caitlin Clark because I actually might lose my job, right? Now, for that to happen, it's not going to happen with this front office. Herb Simon's going to have to come in and be like, hey, no, I do not like where this is going. I do not like what you're doing with my investment. We need to see results. We need to see changes. So Stephanie White's going to have to change how she coaches and how she uses her players and stop the whole, well, we're not going to give the ball to Caitlin because the other team wants us to. So we're going to help the other team. We're not going to run the unstoppable pick and roll because the other team knows it's coming. Oh, yeah, I know it's unstoppable, but they know it's coming. Which reminds me, if I may, Vince Lombardi, one of the greatest coaches of all time. My Eagles are the only team to ever beat him in the playoffs, 1960 NFL title. That's us. Yep. Anyway, he once said, I think he was talking specifically about the end sweep, the end around, which was something they ran so well back in the day. And he's like, doesn't matter if the other team knows it's coming. If we do our jobs, if we execute properly, they still can't stop it. That is 100% the pick and roll with Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston. It cannot be stopped. So Stephanie White has to wake up, or Caitlin Clark has to get fed up. Stop, because I hear she's shrinking behind the scenes, and some of this promo stuff is because Caitlin is, I don't know, feeling uncomfortable that she's the one getting all the promos. Well, Caitlin, that's how you got all the players the money that they got. That's how it works. All this is doing is pissing people off. So unless she gets so pissed and says, hey, Steph, this isn't working for me. I'm taking over games. I'm doing my thing my way, and you can get on board or you can eventually get fired. You can just sit on the sideline as someone who watches. If she does that, then that'll shut all this down because we'll see Caitlin be Caitlin, and Caitlin being Caitlin is an MVP candidate without a doubt. Let me know your thoughts. Is Caitlin Clark Michael Jordan or Jeremy Lin? Smash the like button, subscribe, go have the day you deserve. I will talk to you later.